Hey folks, Mark here. Today we're going to do another cops, and we're going to talk about shut up, lawyer up, or not. There's a lot of... It's not as simple as all that. It's actually kind of a sliding scale, and there's various times that you really do need to shut up and lawyer up from the absolute get-go. Number one, if you're a professional criminal, well, a number of chronic criminals can also learn that one. But, if you're doing something blatantly wrong that especially likely to get you a felony charge, yeah, shut up and lawyer up is a really good bit of advice. Hopefully you're a professional criminal and you've done a firm financial investment strategy, and you have a lawyer on retainer. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting for the public defender. And again, shut up and lawyer up. Good plan. It's when you're not being a criminal, or you're not really doing anything particularly bad, that the shut up and lawyer up, or the more popular version, am I being detained? If so, I want to speak to my attorney. Okay, that's the latest version, which, yeah, that kind of goes street corner lawyering and bad. It goes wrong for you more than it goes right. Now, let's say you're speeding. Oh my God! Who would ever do that? Yeah, right. So you're speeding, you get pulled over. Okay? If you play it right, if you talk to the cop, you deal with it, you handle what he has got you on, and you make sure that you don't give him any other reason to go beyond the reason for that stop. Okay? Sure, you're speeding. Fine. Again, I've talked to it. Cop to it. Okay, not a problem. Hey, yeah, I was speeding. Give me the ticket. Thank you. I'll be out of here. And you're gone. If you play it right, that's all that's going to happen. And yet, if you decide to cop attitude, if you begin to act suspiciously, if you become indignant and demand, am I being detained? Am I being detained? It's a frickin' traffic stop. Maybe it's a speeding ticket. Okay? You were doing it, cop to it, fine. Take the paper, move on. When things start going wrong is when the person begins to act in a manner that the cop goes, hey, something else is going on here. Okay, so fine, it's an acting job. Okay, fine. Give me the ticket. Yeah, I was speeding. Blah, 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 blah. Answer the question. You can really handle this stuff on your own. Okay, it's not something that you need to call in a lawyer for a speeding ticket. Okay, unless you're doing, say, 120 miles an hour in a school zone, in which case you might need a lawyer. Basically, I tell people the higher the level of charges, the more you need an attorney. So fine, you're speeding. You don't need an attorney. You don't need to do the whole, am I being detained? Right? Which, yeah, I got all kinds of, problems with that attitude. Yes, there's a time and a place to ask that question, by the way. But what it is, let's stick with the idea of a traffic stop. If you're getting a traffic stop, what's the script of a traffic stop? What's the normal behavior when you're getting a ticket? Okay? Cop's going to ask you some questions. He's going to, ask for the license, registration. If everything is in order, which we've talked about in another video, then all he's got on you is that you're speeding. Don't give him any other reason to get suspicious. Okay? And this is about behavior. It's not about skin color. Okay? It's about behavior and attitude. Like if you accept, yeah, I'm getting stopped, no problem. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get upset. I know how to play the game. We'll talk about how to tangle with cops later. Then you can get your ticket and be on your way. There's no need for things to go any further. That's where people screw the pooch. Okay, number one, they give the cops a reason to suspect that there's something else going on. Okay. And generally, it's related to surprise, surprise, surprise. Emotional self-control and behavior. Right? Why do you think I say these things? It's obviously I'm wrong because it's not that stuff. It's got to be some other reason. The cops are after me. Yeah, right. They don't know you. They don't care. Right? You were speeding. They want to talk to you. If you were behaving wrongly or you are doing something else, the tango is understand when the cop is on a fishing expedition, and that's the best way to put it. So if it is relevant to the situation, okay, yeah, you can answer the question. When you need to be careful is when he starts fishing for stuff. Like, okay, why do you need to know where I was coming from? Right? That's not a question for a speeding ticket that is germane. Okay? You may ask where you're going. Yeah, okay. Pretty harmless. Where you're coming from, he could be fishing for something. And that's the sort of thing you can very politely say, how's that germane to this ticket? I mean, just please give me the ticket and I'll be on my way. People get nervous when the cop starts fishing, and that's when they get grouchy. That's when they get confrontational. If you don't behave in a manner to arouse suspicion, okay, the cop really doesn't have legal grounds to search your car. But if you start copping an attitude, he may decide that for his safety, he has to search the car. And if you find something in the car, you're in trouble. So, one of the things on that is you can start with the thing of, like, why are you asking me this question? That's not relative or relevant to what's going on. And he may answer, he may back off. If he keeps on fishing, know that you're now in a situation where you're like, it's not necessary to get an attorney in there yet, but it's time to start thinking about answering questions strategically. So if he's fishing for information, that's where you can refuse to answer. That's where you can, ask, okay, am I being detained? Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that's not a snotty, am I being detained? Okay. It's a point of reference. Excuse me, am I being detained? Okay, now I know. Once he admits that, he has now moved, or the situation has now moved into a different game. Okay, yeah, you're still same standing or sitting there in your car, but something else is going on. And that's where you need to start being more cagey with your answers. You need to start looking for traps that he's trying to get you to do an admission of guilt or something. Okay. So if he says, where are you coming from? It's like, officer, that's not relevant to my speeding. Okay. Am I being detained? Yes. Okay. Well, now I might need my attorney. Okay. Don't know why. Don't know what he's looking for. And even if I didn't do anything, it's time to start thinking about, will you need to have an attorney? And if the fishing expedition gets too much, like, could you step out of the car? It's like, I will do so, but I do not give you permission to search my vehicle or myself. Now, if he's got a body cam, that's going to be recorded. So if he proceeds on past that, if he does search you, and you did not give him, probable cause, there is going to be hell to pay, because it opens him up, number one, for charges of harassment, but number two, even if he does find something, that your attorney, remember, not here, not now, not you, will be able to use that. So, I don't really agree with the idea of, shut up and lawyer up as a default, because a lot of the interactions with cops, you know what, you were doing wrong. Admit, if it's small, big deal. Okay? If it's major, you're doing something wrong, shut up and lawyer up is straight up the best attitude. Like, if you've got, 100 kilos of dope in your trunk, shut up and lawyer up is a really good plan. Okay? But for the average person, you can interact with cops, but again, watch for the fishing expedition. And, if you play that right, you don't give him grounds to search you, you don't give him grounds to proceed, and basically you just drive away with a few minutes effort. So, again, don't automatically go to the nuclear option of give me my lawyer, because that's going to end up costing you a lot of money. And if you've got that money, cool beans. If not, so